Hello, I'm gonna give a shout out to the streets, to the people that are on the corners, to the hood. David,
Right.
and just want to give a shout out to the streets because I've been having some conversations and I hear you. Basically, they feel that nobody is talking to them, they talking about it. They're not going to talk about you. They're going to include you in the conversation. Like Biggie Small said, we ain't leaving nobody behind in the street. So to my OGs and to my young G's, it's all about us creating the table. It's all about us coming to the table, the street, and solving the problem. It won't include the police. It won't include the politicians. It won't include those other folks. It's about us making a change. Because if we don't make the change, if we don't change the current direction, we're not going to be here as a people. And us killing us is a genocide.
Yes.
So, folks, let's create our own table because only us can stop the killing. So I want to give a shout out to you two brothers because you are about change and you preach it every day. Every day you preach it. And people hear you. They might not say it, but you change your life and keep doing what you're doing. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and happy Hanukkah. Thank you for everything that you do.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you do, Michael, man. I mean, again, it's people like you that inspire people like me to get out here and do something because we know it's possible. So you continue to do what you do, and I'm going to continue to do what I do, and we come together and make a big difference, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you supporting this show every week.
That's all I have of my loved ones. And I'm so grateful that I made memory. I took time out to spend time to make memory. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have. We have to continue, but we got to make positive memories. You know what I'm saying? It can't be full of sadness and despair. We can uplift each other. Like Michael said, it takes us. It's we doing this. It ain't the police. We know when the police do something, you don't know the police did something. Something gonna be tore up in the city.
Right.
You know when the police do something. We don't even, a rat can't get that through the hole. But when we do something, it's not okay for us to continue to hurt each other. And that's where it bothers me. I don't see us at an outrage when we're hurting each other, man. I don't know what level or how to articulate that. But at the end of the day, what sense does that make?
Right.
When you say, okay, the police got to stop doing this here and these laws and everybody standing up for so-called wrongs and this and that. I don't see the outrage when we self-inflict wound, genociding each other. It's no one beating down the street. I ain't say tear up nothing, but okay, let's go on that block. Let's let them know that we was affected by this person being killed. Let them know it's not going to be easy for you to walk around and be shooting people and think you can just come back out and chill, man. That's not going to be okay. So that's why we're asking you to stop, because that momentum are gaining. It's a lot of pain. People are tired of hurting. People are tired of suffering because it's hard to smile when your heart is aching. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's what I'm saying. That's what we have in common. We have to stop the gun violence. We have to stop the killing. Because again, think about the families that woke up this morning without their kids, man. That empty spot, no matter how many gifts are other kids, and that's not fair. Think about the other kids. So it's a domino effect all the way down to the youngest person that's able to understand what's going on. And the only way we stop this trauma and mental health is by stopping the killing. Give our community peace so that people can come together and come up with solutions. We can't be afraid to talk to each other. I don't care what church you go to. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care where you live at. I'm happy for you. But we have to come together to make a difference. And I hope a lot of church pastors and stuff come out this year, man, and be involved. When I was kids, we seen the church people in the street, especially when tragedy that we having today with the killing. I can imagine if this was going on when I was young, man, I know every church pastor in the city of Tampa because they came through the projects, they set up tents, you know what I'm saying? Even if they had to give us hot dogs and soda waters or something to come try to give you the word or to bring your attention from the street corners or what have you, we got to come up with any solution to combat this. This is not a one and done. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're inviting people to come out on Tuesday at the Yat Center with these solutions. What ideas do you have? Because we can start solving problems. And again, nothing gets solved in chaos. So we're not coming out bashing and screaming and yelling, because ain't nothing gonna get solved in chaos. We're looking for solutions. We're coming out with level-headed minded people. People want to talk about making change and trying to formulate an idea or a movement so that we all moving on one accord, trying to bring solution and peace back to our communities, man. And that's all we trying to do. We're not trying to take nothing from nobody but guns. That's all we want, the guns and the killing to stop. Then we can move on to other things. But then, because it'll be a safe working environment. Nobody wants to be in an unsafe environment. I don't care what your status is.
Yep. And one thing also,
if people get involved, a lot of things can change. And they can't be misled. They can't get third and fourth information. If you at the table, you know what was served right then and there. You don't have to hear no hearsay or somebody remixing something so that they can make you feel a certain type of way towards a certain person or a certain group. Come to the table and hear it for yourself. Get the raw material, the raw information. Like I explained to the elected officials, like Michael said, you have to go to talk to the people in the streets. You can't, you can't, it sounds good in an office building or in a meeting, but if it's not reaching ground zero, it does no good.
right.
So that's going to be one of the most important part of the movement. Going down here to the ground zero, whatever street corner it may be, whatever crack or corner, alley, wherever it's at, and talk to the people. We have to know what's going on, what's going to make you change. That's not being this and that. That's showing that somebody that you care about them. That we don't want you here. It's better for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, something may have brung you this way, but it's another way. I ain't trying to persuade them to be no type of religious person, or I want to see these young people develop gray hair, man. It's sad. We're losing kids. They're not even know their potential in life. Again, because I know it's not how the race started. It's how it's finished. So they might be there now. Tomorrow, they could be something special. We haven't tapped in. We had to talk to them, let them really know they count. We had to let our community, our kids know their life is valued. And like Mike said, we can't talk down on them. We got to go listen to them.
You know what?
They listen to the Taliban. They listen to the ISIS people. They try to talk to them and find out what's going on.
Because I remember back in the 90s when the gang stuff, gang murders really started to escalate at one time.
Mm-hmm.
The life expectancy for a black male was 25. What is it now? 17?
Well, even if that, man, you got to realize, man, we just lost a 13-year-old.
Right.
And a 16-year-old did that.
So my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. Us killing us equal genocide. Us saving us equals solution. The level of PSTD in our community is at an all-time high. Let me say this again. The level of PSTD is at an all-time high. And this is due largely in part because of the level of violence in our communities. The question is, how do we change the narrative? We need to put together an all decks on hand approach to stop the madness in our community. We have to identify the missing ingredient that's not at the table. The silent majority. I'm sorry, the silent majority. Majority. We're talking about those that feel helpless, those that feel that they don't have any power. We're going to talk a little bit more about that role a little bit later on. Now, let's talk about the rules to how do you change the narrative. As Biggie Smalls say, there are rules to this game. Rule number one. See, change comes from within. And no entity is going to come to save us. That is, no politician. No politician, no nonprofit, no organization, no faith-based group, no business, no funder, no family, or no community is going to save us. Only you, as an individual, can save us by working collectively to create the village. Let's talk about that. Rule 2. We must create the table and give voice to, the thugs, the unemployed, the unemployed, those that are struggling in terms of business, those who are dealing with substance abuse, the youth, the senior, the homeless. Yeah, those with criminal records and other baggages that are stopping them from being part of being productive. The mother, the father, and the loved one that has lost someone to the senseless killing. Those that are living in fear and are feeling helpless. The entertainer, the rapper, all are part of this particular solution. So if we're not having a conversation with all of these different entities, then we're missing the point. We must reach down and drill down, because the solution comes from the collective and not from the outside. It comes from within. This leads us to rule 3 and 4. Organizing, mobilizing, educating, and curating the plan, which, as you can see, curates the table. The greatest power you have is the numbers that you bring to the table, that bring about not only a good plan, but a bankable plan, a plan that transforms the community. So I'm trying to move to the next slide. But as I try to move to the next slide, here we go. Contact us as we talk more about this new approach. I call it a new school, next generation approach. And these are the different sites that you can reach us in or email to learn more about how do we begin to build change from within. Too often change comes from outside. The problem with changes that come from outside is controlled by outside. The greatest power you have as a poor community or underserved community is your ability to organize, mobilize, and create the plan that create the table that allows you to design your future. We are committed to changes at the bottom so that we build out from within. Again, you can reach us at any of these sites here. I'm committed to what I do because at the end of the day, I'm not only from the hood, I'm about the hood, and I'm definitely for the hood. That's what makes us unique when it comes to organizations that transform community. We're committed to it. Hit us up. I hope this has inspired somebody, because even with all the madness that's going on in your neighborhood, there are lessons learned and best approaches that show that even with all this madness, there are approaches to change the narrative. So again, I hope this has touched somebody.